And hello! Happy. What's today? I almost thought today was Tuesday earlier, actually. It is not Tuesday. I need this one, right? Hey, there we go. Okay. So, happy Friday. It's Friday today. Um, so I was gonna. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about playing Twiddlestorm again on Mitgo, but I don't know. I didn't really want to waste my tickets on another 0-3, and so I remembered that Arena exists, and I've been working on this deck for a hot minute. So I was on. I think I was on Twitter the one day, and I'm gonna pull it up so I know exactly what I'm talking about. But I kind of saw this deck list by this guy, and I'm about to find uh who exactly it was. That way there's, proper, I give him proper uh Zan Zan Syed. So in June he posted a deck list that was four color treachery, which was a which is a modern build of this pretty much, where he's just cheating Agent of Treachery into play by using Indomitable Creativity or by using Persist, which is a reanimation spell. So I kind of wanted to play it for a while. I was like, oh, that could be kind of an interesting um it could kind of be an interesting deck to learn to play in modern, cuz he said in his tweet, it feels unfair and I can't imagine playing anything else until something gets banned. Well, then I saw this other tweet that was basically almost kind of poking fun at him, being Agent of Treachery doesn't have any place in modern. Why don't you just play 4 Archon of Cruelty and then you have an actual finisher? So I took it upon myself to kind of take his idea and modify it for Explorer, or Pioneer Explorer, because I think that all of the decks in Explorer and Pioneer are all threat heavy mid-range decks, which doesn't work as well in modern because of how much removal there is in modern. So I want to try it in Explorer. So how it works is I've got Agent of Treachery. When it enters the battlefield, you gain control of something. You gain control of a permanent. So how do we cheat this into play? Well, I can get it directly from the deck by using Indomitable Creativity, or I could get it from the graveyard by using Blood for Bones. And there are creature graveyard battlefield, and there are all kinds of different cards that actually do what Blood for Bones does, but I think Blood for Bones does it best just because of the mana cost of it. If you look at Invoke Justice, it's 5 mana and quadruple white, and then everything else is too expensive. And then if you look at the other cards in black, you don't have a lot of options. Blood for Bones really is the only one that you're going to get at 4 mana. You can get Bond of Revival, but that's 5. So I really wanted something that was specifically at 4 mana. Even if you go into the multicolored cards, you're not getting anything pretty much. I mean, Obsessive Stitcher See, like, Obsessive Stitcher doesn't even work because you might creativity into it, and that's not what you want to be doing. So, I think the Blood for Bones is going to work the best. Also, because the additional cost is not like that high of a price to pay because of all the tokens that we're making to support Indomitable creativity. So the only thing that I would say is missing from this deck is I don't have a playset of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I really would love to play 4 of these because the first mode is good because it makes a token for us to creativity. The second mode is good because you can pitch agents that are stuck in your hand to then reanimate them. And the backside is good because it gives you additional agent things. Like it lets you copy them. Oh no, I don't want to edit. I want to leave and then come back. I want to leave, play a game, explore. I mean, I guess I could do ranked. Does it really matter? I don't really want to do ranked. All right, you know what? I won't. I'll just do regular. I'll just do unranked. What's it matter? I'd rather not do ranked just because I don't know how this is gonna go. So also, I really don't know what's going on in my sideboard. I just kind of tried to pack it full of a bunch of random stuff that I thought would be good. Hello. Focus. Where's the webcam? Turn it off and turn it back on again. There we go. So this hand is awful. And no lander? All right. Bottom. Also, the entire mana base supports Dwarven Mine. The entire mana base supports Dwarven Mine. I also really like Prismari command in this because it's removal. It's some kind of removal against aggro. It can loot away your extra agents, and it makes a treasure to ramp you into stuff. But it also makes a treasure for creativity, and it can destroy hate artifacts. So I think it's actually really good. Lightning Axe is decent removal. 1 mana, 5 damage target creature, pitch another card. I love that card. I think that card is so good. I have always really liked Lightning Axe. So he's not attacking with the Gold Hound, which is odd. That's odd, right? Well, I mean, Sacred Foundry, go. Maybe I should have played it untapped. So on the next turn, I can Dwarven Mine, which will enter untapped. Oh, there's... And this is why I love Lightning Axe. Yeah, I don't really care that you make a treasure and ping me. Okay, he did have a land drop. So the question is now, when I get agent, what do I take? So X is 1. Get rid of this. So that gets me agent of treachery. The question remains, what do I take? I kind of just want to take a land. I feel like a land is most often just the correct decision. Okay, so he bedevils. That's fine. So Blood for Bones is not a good draw here. So I think I'm going to main phase this. See what I draw. I think I just want to get rid of both of these, or maybe like this and this. I wonder, oh, I could have played Narset there. Although I am at 14, so I guess it's not. Okay, plays another land. Touch of the Spirit Realm. Oh, and I have these because the white channel lets you blank agents. Sunset Revelry is not terrible. Sunset Revelry is actually like decent-ish here, because if I do end up drawing like a Blood for Bones, I can play it and Blood for Bonesing. I do really like Sunset Revelry. I think that Sunset Revelry is like I think that it's like actually a very good card. Okay. My turn. Creativity is also not bad. So I can Sunset Revelry. And then I can actually Creativity X2. So I'm going to do that. So this will get me 2 agents, to which I'll probably just take more lands, honestly. And see, this is kind of like where Zan's idea like comes in. So I feel like I probably want Sunset Revelry, right? So I think like the number one thing is always trim Blood for Bones. Because of the fact that you need an additional cost, and B, people are always gonna like bring in Graveyard Hate against this because they like see Blood for Bones or whatever. And then I don't think Thoughtseize is very good. So I guess the first of all the question is, what should I be bringing in? Rip Apart kills the Fireweaver and any artifacts that they may want. Sunset Revelry is probably also good. So I can probably trim Blood for Bones, trim a Touch of the Spirit Realm, trim a Thoughtseize, and probably a Narset, and try it like that. So I really like his idea. I just do wonder if Modern is the place for it. And this is kind of why, because like all I did was like take like 3 of his lands. Like I didn't even actually take any like good cards. I will keep this. Mostly because it has all of my colors and Dwarven Mine. I'm playing first, even though I won. That's odd. So he wanted to be on the draw? Okay. Dwarven Mine. I might play that Dwarven Mine. Actually, no, that's probably a bad idea. So I mean, I'll just take Infernal Grasp, really. Steam Vents go. I'm really not that worried about the Meat Hood Massacre. I am a little worried about that. Yeah, so he's going to get rid of that. So I think what I'm going to do is Prismari Command, deal 2 damage, destroy an artifact. Deal 2 damage, destroy an artifact. So now the only stuff that he's got is this and Meat Hook. So I can Lightning Axe, discarding Agent to get rid of Goldhound, which is pretty much like the only threat. Ralgrin Triumph. I mean, I don't really want to do it quite yet, probably. Because there might be, like, a Reckless Fireweaver or something. It has First Strike and Menace? Goodness. Okay, he gets rid of the Meat Hook. I almost wonder if I should have more Lightning Axes in my sideboard. That's one of the other things, too, is I really don't have any... I really don't have like any plan for my sideboard. I just kind of like put a bunch of stuff that I thought would be good in it. Is there any way for me to get Sunset Revelry on draw card mode? Probably not. So I'm just going to Sunset Revelry. And I'm actually going to double block on the Gold Hound too. This is such a good card. So I've been like kind of testing this deck for like a hot minute. I absolutely love this card. I really do. Okay, I'm gonna double block because it has Menace and First Strike. I really don't feel like he would have any combat tricks. And if he wants to Infernal Grasp a token, I feel like I'm fine with that. Yeah. So now I'm pretty much under 0 pressure. Oh, what? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because he ate the other one. Right. So, I mean, Dwarven Mine. I almost wonder... See, one thing that I would absolutely love, I would love Unburial Rites in this deck. I would play Unburial Rites over Blood for Bones in a heartbeat. The only issue is that it is not Pioneer or Explorer legal, which makes me really sad because I absolutely love Unburial Rites. Unburial Rites is such a good card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next turn I can just hard cast an Agent of Treachery, to which he will probably explode it. But I don't really think that I care. Yep, and then just hard cast Agent of Treachery. And then next turn I can hard cast the other one. So I am going to try to take him off black here. Yep, that's what I figured. But I still get to take the land. And this is kind of where Agent of Treachery is bad, because it's not taking anything that's going to help me win the game. Like, Agent of Treachery taking a Bone Crusher Giant, or taking a Kalidas, or taking that, is, like, pretty good. So, like, doing this is just good. Kind of like that. And this is why I thought that, like, this would be a better card in Explorer. Because Explorer is full of, like, more mid-range stuff. Pioneer and Explorer do not have, like, the same absolutely bonkers removal that Modern does. Before I go into another match, I'm going to buy a pack. And I'm going to see if I can get another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I need Kamigawa. This one. There's so many packs now. I hate alchemy. I don't care about your stupid alchemy packs. I don't care about what's in this. I don't care. I don't care about those cards. Alchemy is dumb. I'll never play your stupid format. Not happening. So what's my other cast? 30 green or blue spells. Okay. So I mean I'm just gonna keep playing. Hopefully I will cast enough blue spells that I can do this. Dun, 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 dun. That went pretty well. Even just taking lands, if it's early enough in the game, just taking lands is pretty good. However, later in the game, like that turn, like turn 7, it doesn't really do anything. But one of the good things about taking lands over like permanents is Agent of Treachery's second ability, which is if you control 3 or more permanents that you don't own, you draw 3 cards. It's a lot. You can't get rid of lands, but you can get rid of everything else. So like if you take 2 creatures and you're about to take like a third and your opponent just kills like one of the creatures or something, then you don't get to draw 3 cards. But it's a lot harder for your opponent to stop you from taking their lands. I will happily play first. This is kind of garbage. I feel like if this was a Steam Vents, this is like a Snapkeep. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Touch the Spirit Realm. Cause like it's just a blinky. It just blinks. It's mostly in here for the channel ability. And there are other cards that like, oh, there are cards that like actually like blink, like instants and sorceries that do it. But I think that the upside of this also being like almost a banishing light is okay. Ooh, goblins. See, I like unranked because I like actually. Ooh, okay. Okay, this might go well then. So I can even Sunset Revelry now, get blockers and get life. I really do. Like, this is such a good card. I may go up to 4. Oh no. Oh, now it's less good of a card. Dwarven Mine. Shoot this. Creativity into Agent. I'm going to take the Chain Whirler. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm taking Chain Whirler because it's a 3/3 with First Strike. So it profitably blocks so much of my opponent's deck. And then I can even like touch the Spirit Realm, like get rid of like problematic stuff. Like I might just get rid of this. I think I am. I think I'm gonna touch the Spirit Realm and get rid of. What's worse? He missed a land drop. Actually, you know what I could have done? I could have blinked the Agent of Treachery because I have it now. And then I could have just taken one of these. I'm not going to block because I'm like actually a little scared of the bat swing. So I could have channeled there after going off about like the fact that I can channel it, which is probably what I should have done. Opponent. Thinking hard. Yeah, it's probably what I should have done. Oh, that's good. I kind of wanted that. I kind of want to take that. So, First Strike here. Block. This. Take 1. This was such a good decision. So, I am going to channel. I'm actually... Oh, crap. Oh, no. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Okay. You know what? It's all right. So I'm going to Prismari Command. Draw 2, deal 2. I'm going to deal 2 damage to this. I'm going to target myself to loot a little bit. Discard, discard. That was the wrong decision. I was thinking that, like, I'm going to take this thing, but I channeled this instead. That was a punt. That was a serious punt. Ugh. Blood for Bones is a little bad here. See, and this is where, like, Blood for Bones is not good because of reasons. So I'm just going to do this and because he doesn't have any mana to do anything else. Taking 2. Another Xander's Lounge. I'm going to cycle this one. Draw a Narset. That doesn't do anything. So he's got Chain Whirler, which is bad for me. Yeah, I think if I had taken Cranko... I smell a cleave. No? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, Narset may be able to bail me out of this. Okay. So I can actually just Blood for Bones, sacking Treachery, and then getting back both agents? Is that good? And just take the other Chain Whirler. If he'll let me? Oh, that's why there's the Rockfall Veil, because it's a Coco Goblins deck. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, finds 2 things. I don't like that. Am I dead? Am I dead? I might be dead. Ooh, I think I'm dead. Block, block. Oh, is that it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, he is just attacking with everything. There's an attack all button. He's really... Wow, okay. So how do I not die? I don't think that I not die. So... I block... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I definitely punted. If I had taken, like, what I was supposed to, I definitely feel like I'm, like, almost 100% to win that game. So, I'm just going to trim a Thoughtseize and a Blood for Bones. And just kind of run it back. I'm wondering if I want Supreme Verdict. I think I will put in 2. Going down Spell Pierce. Okay. Let's see how we do. Yeah, if I had used both of my Touch the Spirit Realms to channel and blink the agent of Treachery instead of use it. I do really like this card. I do. I really like this card. Also, this is just like this is just a stabilizing hand. Like, this just puts out blockers and gives me life back. I didn't draw land also, which is bad. If I could draw a land for this Fable, then I'll be okay, I'm pretty sure. Another Foundry Street Denizen. I didn't even know this was legal. Because it's Ravnica, right? Ouch, ouch. That is not a land either. I'm going to lose because I'm not drawing lands. Also, I will 100% block both of these Foundry Street Denizens. Like, that's actually... Like, this is a very, very good card. I think I remember when this used to see Modern play. I think so. It used to see Modern play, right? I'm pretty sure. Thinking long and hard. A Coco version of this is interesting. I feel like just splashing green for Coco in general is not a bad idea for anything. Battlecry Goblin. So both of those get bigger. Yeah, he's going to leave this one back. I'm going to block here and block here. And then he's going to shoot one of them. No? Oh, that's surprising. Ah, there's a land. I'm going to untap land Fable. Try to catch up here. And actually, this is pretty good, because if I can draw an untapped land and attack with this and have it get in. Okay. So I can't attack with it and have it get in. So I can't attack with it at all. Which does upset me. I'm going to discard a Narset. Touch the Spirit Realm. So if I do this, I go to 19. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to do this and just pass. You never really get the last mode on Sunset Revelry, but gaining 4 and making 2 1/1s for 2 mana is so good. Like specifically in this deck where I want this stuff to do this stuff with, it's really good. Opponent. Skirk Prospector. Goblins gain +1/+0 in haste. So 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I go to 9. So I go to 9 if I don't do anything. So I'm just gonna block with 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. I can take 6. Down to 13. And this is, and like right here is where Indomitable Creativity is like a little bit. So the question is, creativity. Obviously. That's what the deck does. That's the whole thing. I get Agent. The question is now, what do I take? Because if I take Chain Whirler, it's like a 3/3 first strike blocker, but it's tapped. I think I just take it anyway. Oh, right. He sacks it. You know what? I think that's fine. Because I don't have access to it either, but it does at least get it off of my opponent's board. Okay, Legion Warboss. I'm probably going to take Legion Warboss. Yeah, you should have waited until it went to that. So I think I just block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down to 3. I think that's fine. So I go to 3. Actually, wait. Oh no, because of the Prospector. Oh no. He can sack them for mana and then use the Battlecry Goblin to pump. Please don't. No. Oh, am I at a plan? I was going to Sunset Revelry to go up to 7 and touch the Spirit Realm, the Agent, and copy it with Reflections. What's... Yeah. Boo. Boo. No. Lame. That's so dumb. Maybe Supreme Verdict isn't the right card. Maybe it's something like Cinderclasm. Because, like, you don't really want to shoot the agent. Maybe it is Cinderclasm. Maybe that's a good idea. I will keep this. It doesn't really do anything. But I am drawing live to Dwarven Mine. It's fairly Thoughtseize proof. He's probably just going to take creativity. I would be pretty surprised if he doesn't. Yep. Ha ha. Nice. That's great. I like that a lot. Oh, no. I mean, my opponent dealt 4 damage to himself, so. I am technically winning right now. This is just duress. Necromentia? Okay. Odd. Kinda happy I have ley lines in my sideboard. Are you just naming Indomitable Creativity? Narset Parter of Veils. Okay. So he's gonna search and he's gonna know what my target is. Yeah, this makes me really happy that I put ley lines in my sideboard. I was kind of thinking like, oh, Leyline is... I'm just going to pay 2 life. Leyline is good against, like, Rakdos because of how many... Because of, like, Thoughtseizes and stuff. Karn. Okay. Reveal an artifact. What does this do? Oh, so he's gonna Necromentia. Huh. Well, I am going to draw 2, deal 2, deal 2, draw 2. Could I maybe draw like a Spell Pierce? Ooh, okay, Thoughtseize is good. So discard. Discard. Okay, Thoughtseize will get it out of there. Ulamog. Goodness. I mean, he's quite a bit away from Ulamog. If I can just keep him from getting back that card and naming Agent, because he knows that I have Agent of Treachery. Okay, Indomitable Creativity. X is 1. Get rid of this. And I get to just take one of his lands. Yes! Okay. So now I get access to ley lines, which is very, very good. And Spell Pierce. Going down, for sure, Blood for Bones. A Narset. And probably Lightning Axe. Does not seem very good. And I can probably go up Ob Nixilis. Going down 2 touch. So Ob Nixilis is here in the sideboard kind of for exactly this reason. So because Casualty lets you sacrifice a creature and then make 2 copies of Ob Nixilis, all of the tokens that I'm making really heavily support Ob Nixilis. So I really like him as like a backup plan. And I think that Zan also had him in the modern list that he built, which is like kind of where I got it from. Please, Leyline. Please, Leyline Thoughtseize. I will take a 1-lander that has Leyline and Thoughtseize in it. I really will. Absolute snap keep. 100%. I'm never taking this out of my sideboard. Oh my goodness. Whoo! baby. And that is why I said I would take a one-lander that has Leyline in it. Oh my great golly gracious. Huh. That's pretty good. I love Leyline. I do. It's really annoying for me sometimes because I don't always like playing against it. Leyline against like Giftstorm because like I play Giftstorm in Modern. Yeah, Grape Shot is not so lethal anymore. However, Empty the Warrens always works. I will absolutely play first. What do we got? What does this hand do? This hand really doesn't do anything, but like I have all my colors and a creativity. I really don't feel like I can. I'm gonna lead on Blood Crypt. I don't want to shock it in and go the whole way to 16. I would rather save the life because I don't know what the matchup is. And this is kind of why. Because, like, he didn't do anything turn 1 anyway. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's definitely Chandra. So, Anger of the Gods is annoying because it does exile Agent. Another Thoughtseize. I mean, I'll Thoughtseize again. I don't really see why not. Huh. Oh my goodness. So, like, the modern version of this is a little more consistent at getting Agent on turn 4 exactly. Because you have fetch lands to be able to fetch Dwarven Mind to have a token for creativity. So that's why I have so many other like token producers. Oh, Fable's pretty good. I like that a lot actually. The token may get got, but I will be able to filter a little bit. I do really like this card. He's probably just going to big score. Chandra Torture Defiance. Up-ticking, down-ticking. Probably down-ticking to deal 4. Yeah. Unfortunate. Narset. I don't really want to discard anything. I'll discard the Agent. All right. Well, Narset. So I would love to take this Chandra. That's a Prismari command. So Prismari command gives me a treasure. That's 5 mana. Ruh-roh. Big Chandra? Goldspan. Okay. Yeah, this is not... Yeah. So I'm safe from Goldspan for a turn. This actually feels like very mono red prison-y. Ooh, Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe, Lightning Axe, Lightning Axe. So... So I could kill Chandra, or I could just take it. I think I'd rather just take it. And this is the thing. Is that, like, there's not a whole lot of removal in Pioneer that, like, explicitly just removes a bunch of different stuff. There is in Modern. You have Lightning Bolt, which is such a versatile card. Don't ever let anyone tell you that Lightning Bolt is not good in Modern. It is. You know what's not good in Modern? Fatal Push. Fatal Push has not been good in Modern for a hot minute. Yeah, he's definitely going to kill the Kiki Jiki, I think. Yeah, that makes me sad. So what do I... This -3 is... That's unfortunate. I kind of want to kill Goldspan here. Just so I don't take the hit the whole way down to 12. I think I am going to do that. Discard the land. Yeah, sure. You can have whatever you want. And then I might blow up one of his treasures. Oh, I can deal 2 damage to this creature. Okay, I like that. Oh, he's making 2. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just press Prismara command. 2 damage, I'll make a treasure. 2 damage here, I will make a treasure. Draw creativity. I am going to X is 1, blow this up. The question is, what do I take? Chandra. Let's... Ha! Yes. Okay. So, I saw Anger, so Blood for Bones definitely out. There's probably going to be a lot of removal since it's red. So I might want Obnixilis as a backup plan. I think that Spell Pierce might be good. I think that Sunset Revelry, at least an additional copy, is going to be good. Going down, probably a Narset, probably a Thoughtseize. I might even go like up another Sunset and just go down like a Touch the Spirit Realm. I like this quite a bit. Also, I probably would have just upticked for mana on Chandra and just not used it on anything. Because I don't want to risk exiling, like, a good card. Like, I don't want to risk exiling, like, an agent. And then I have one less agent in my whole deal. It is Friday, right? Yeah. I thought it was Friday. I was, like, pretty sure that it was Friday. I wasn't so sure this morning. I was looking at the work schedule, like trying to find out who was off today. And I was looking at Tuesday, which doesn't even make any sense because I don't. Well, so I was like I was thinking in my head I was just off yesterday, and I'm off on Sundays and Thursdays. So I was like, oh, it must be Tuesday. But that doesn't make any sense because I would have thought that it was Monday. So I really don't know why I thought it was Tuesday. For like a solid 30 seconds, I thought it was a Tuesday, honestly. I wonder if Leyline's any good. Probably not. Leyline's very good. I do really like that card. Ugh. Buddy, it's only 6. It's not even 7. You know what? Opponent. Waiting. There we go. Ooh. I don't think so. I mean, I kept this hand last time and it was okay. Nah, I don't think so. Ooh, definitely not. Ooh, alright. Well, bottom. Trying my best. Hopefully this Fable bails me out. Okay, Triumph is a pretty good start. So this turns on Spell Pierce. I have... 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have all my colors, which is good at least. 2 mana. Chandra's Regulator. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna have this ender tapped. Spell Pierce probably like whatever they play, and then Thoughtseize them the following turn. You know what? I might want to keep all my Thoughtseizes. If I lose this match, I want Thoughtseizes. Okay, Thoughtseize you. Oh, he didn't draw land. Well, I'm definitely taking Chandra. Okay. So if I can draw land, this is not terrible. I think if I do not draw a land, I am going to Prismari command for looting instead of Fable. Actually, no. Because Fable makes treasures? Maybe I just want Fable. I don't know. So I think he scried to the bottom and then scried to the top. Is it a land? It is a land. And he plays Solemn Simulacrum. I wish that you could draw 2 cards on your turn instead of 1, because Dwarven Mind Creativity would be so good right now. Okay, so I did draw land. So I am going to Fable of the Mirror Breaker then. Why am I at 14? Oh, because I just took 4. From Play with Fires. I don't know what it is, but I love these mono red planeswalkers. So I absolutely despise Chandra as a character. I think she's boring, but I love her cards. Specifically this one, and specifically the other one. Oh, sorry about that. Ooh. This Spell Pierce is looking worse and worse, so I'm gonna ditch the Pierce. Dwarven Mind? Oh, yes. Yes. Spell. Target of a spell. Kill this. I'm taking Bone Crusher Giant. Mwahahaha. Yoink. Yes. Awesome. Okay. I will be right back. Okay, so as of late, I have been having absolutely horrible back pain while at work. So I have this shoulder heating pad that my mom gave me, and I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna use it. I ordered a I ordered one of those like I ordered one of those like massage gun things like from Amazon. Um I don't know when it's going to be here. But I did get one of those. So I will be using that in addition to like this is to loosen it up. Hopefully, ooh, what did I get? Fable of the Mirror Breaker? Workshop War Chief. Huh. Is this a good card? It's kind of just Swag Tusk, isn't it? Actually, no, it is just Thrag Tusk. It doesn't gain you nearly as much life though. But you can play it from the graveyard, so maybe I don't know. Ugh. Maybe it's just not. The ability to play it from the graveyard though is pretty. Or no. You don't play it from the graveyard. You play it for its blitz cost. I mean, I guess this is okay. You play it for its blitz cost, and then you get to draw a card when it dies. Is what it says. This is interesting, right? The fact that we're starting the game with no time, with no additional timers. I'm gonna lead on Raugrin. So, hopefully, I mean, Thoughtseize. What? Okay. He conceded the whole match. What? Watergrave untapped for Thoughtseize to see 2 Narsets, and he just concedes? 2 Narsets a Spell Pierce. Weird. How odd. Okay. I mean, that's a little disappointing, because, like, I want to be playing. Toss 2 lets to cast. Huh. I mean, that's pretty good against red. Actually, that is pretty good against red. 1 mana, 4 damage to target attacking creature. Gain 2? That's pretty good. I need this. I need to be casting my spells in order to make that happen. To get that gold to potentially get another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So, what are we thinking? I'm thinking the deck, it feels okay. It feels okay. I am a huge fan of Sunset Revelry. I really like that card. I'm not sure how good these are. Oh, this is just the nuts. Oh, this is the nuts. Oh, this is the turn 4. Huh. That's pretty good, right? I mean, turn 4 almost win the game is pretty good. I mean, most people have just conceded when I spin into Agent, so. Oh, there's a second one. Oh, I probably should have led on Xander's Lounge. Esper? Ooh. Do I want a Narset? I think I'm just gonna Narset. Because if it eats a counterspell, then it's fine. It does eat a counterspell. Okay. So this is just Esper control, pretty much. Oh, no! He had a Thoughtseize! Is he going to take my Thoughtseize? He might take my Thoughtseize. And this is... Yeah, it takes my Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseizing, like, on turn 2 was probably the right choice. Yeah, playing Thoughtseize instead of... Oh. Okay. I mean, this is going to go pretty bad then for you, right? Because I get to spin into Agent, and Agent snatches their only blue source. That's really good. Okay, I'm going to take this, and because they're control, I'm going to do this. Go down 2 blood for about... you know what? I'm going to go down 1 of, like, each of these. Because maybe they don't have a lot of graveyard hate. Maybe going down Blood for Bones is a bad idea. Maybe I should be going down the Lightning Axes. Also, Lightning Axe is probably pretty good in the sideboard. Like at least one more. I think at least one more is probably a good idea. Okay, let's... Oh, you know what just occurred to me? There's no sound. It has only just now occurred to me that there's no audio for this. There we go. I'm Ferretmon! Hello! How's it going? Is this a keepable hand?
Alright, so sorry. Okay, so I downloaded the ad, but it's not, unfortunately, it is not,
Oh, that's Twitch. That's Twitch doing that. Fable on 3. Yeah, probably. If I draw... if I draw creativity, it's definitely command on 3. For sure, I think so. Actually no, because Fable does it too. See, and now I'm wondering what's going on, because in the first game, okay, there's a Sanctum. So my opponent's probably just like sitting on all of these counter spells. So this will eat counter spell number 1. Yep. So that eat counter number 1. See, that's what I thought too. I also thought it was Esper Control. But then in game 1, they had 3 lands. They had whatever this is in blue, like the Innistrad one. They had this in blue, and then they had just like 2 Shattered Sanctums. So they Thoughtseized off of the Shattered Sanctum, took my Thoughtseize, and then off of their only blue source, they played a Merfolk Windflower. So I don't really know what's going on. So like it could be Rogues, but also why is Rogues playing white? There's a Wandering Wanderer. There have been some pretty funny concessions during like this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie.
May your blade strike true.
Like there was a player I played against earlier. His turns... I'm just gonna Prismari command this, actually. I'm gonna loot as well. So his turns went turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Thoughtseize, turn 3 Necromentia, naming Indomitable Creativity. And then... Or no, I don't... Or no, it wasn't Creativity. It was Narset. He named Narset Porter of Veils. So then turn 4, I Creativity into Agent, took one of his lands, and he just conceded. So I boarded in all 4 Leyline of the Void. Like, see, and like right here's a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Like, I'm so confused. I really just want to, like, shoot this Thieves Guild Enforcer. I would also like to get down this Obnixilis if I can. I guess I just pass. And so I boarded in all of my Leyline of Sanctity, and then in game 2, I had one in my opener. Snap kept it, and he immediately conceded. So I won 2-0, and it was pretty funny, actually. So I guess before then, I will do this again. Shoot this, try to loot. Okay. Ugh. I don't like that. I'm kind of thinking I want to get rid of the Blood for Bones here. Because... But what if I, like, draw a token? I for sure want to get rid of that. Alright. Because if I draw, like, a Sunset Revelry, this is, like, decent. Because I could even Sunset Revelry try to Obnixilis. As you cast a spell, copy it. Okay. So there's another blue land. There's an Agent of Treachery. I don't like how big this has gotten, because they killed it first. So let's hope for... Ugh. I mean, alright. I have a feeling he'll probably just take Agent of Treachery. Either Agent of Treachery or Obnixilis, I think, is what he's going to take. No. He's really thinking... Really? Took Blood for Bones? I don't really know why, because, like...
Guards, to me!
I don't have a creature to Blood for Bones. I don't have a creature to, like, even cast that spell. Double Thoughtseize. I would absolutely adore Sunset Revelry. Like, that would be so good right now. That's not a Sunset Revelry. Do I just Windmill Slam the Obnixilis? No, because it just dies. If I take this, if I play Thoughtseize, I'm dead. I could Obnixilis down tick. I could. I think I'm gonna Obnixilis down tick. I wish I could. So I'm just gonna down tick.
You don't stand with me. You're my enemy. Go sow some chaos.
Ugh. Gotta get my water. Okay. Man, I hope this... Man, I hope this thing works for me back. Yeah, no blocks. Definitely no blocks. I really just played it to, like, just distract my opponent from attacking me. You know what's really good? Indomitable Creativity. I'll even take the 2 off with Thoughtseize. Goodness gracious. If I'm gonna draw a land, I could at least draw, like, the land that lets me make a token to Indomitable Creativity. I mean, right?
We've got the edge in this
So
fight.
that's lethal. Cool, 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 cool. I really don't understand, like, what's going on. Like, I don't. I really don't understand what my opponent is doing. But I am going to put in these Sunset Revelries. I'm going to take out another Touch of the Spirit Realm. I really like Lightning Axe. Do I just take out another Blood for Bones? I think 2 is the lowest that I want to go on this. I kind of just want to take out a Narset. Just like trim across the board. So I've won one, my opponent's won one. Hopefully I win this one. Sideboarding pretty hard. I still don't even know what's going on. Because, like, I saw rogues, but it looks like an Esper control list. Which is so weird. He's sideboarding pretty hard over there. There we go. Okay. So now we can actually get to playing. I will play first. I think that this is bad. That's worse. I don't know why, but when I mulligan my first hand, it always gives me one that has significantly less land. I'm just gonna keep 5. It's probably wrong to keep Legion of Treachery, but... I think if he tries to Thought Seize, I'm gonna Spell Pierce. Okay. So now if I draw a land, specifically... See, like it's... So it must just be Esper Rogues, but I don't know why you would be splashing white. Like what does white do for you? Okay, I didn't want either of those cards anyway. That's fine. I think I just Windmill Slam Narset here. Yeah, I'm just gonna Windmill Slam him. If he counters it, whatever. I honestly don't have a lot going on anyway. You know what I may end up doing? I may end up cutting these Narsets for something else. Actually, you know what is? You know what's coming out soon? They're reprinting Impulse in... It's fine. They're reprinting Impulse in Dominaria United. That might actually be... Okay, that's one that I actually would have wanted. Don't like that. So I'm probably losing this game. And see, this is what I don't understand, because where's the white mana? What's the white mana even doing it? Well, I guess white mana. 4, 5, 6, 7. And I continue to draw into absolutely nothing. Man, this is tough. Maybe Blood for Bones is not good. You know, every time I've tried to like cast this card, I'm always missing a creature to sacrifice. Yeah, I'm just dead. There's nothing that I draw that's coming out. That's so dumb. I'm so confused. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so in my testing, What have I found so far? So, Blood for Bones is not that good. Return creature graveyard. If I could play, and I so badly wish that I could, if I could play Unburial Rites, I would in a heartbeat. Discard a card. Exile return. Battlefield gains haste. That's 6 mana though. Trying to see if there's like any actually good like cards. Maybe this? But then there's not like enough for me to like reasonably play black, so it doesn't make any sense to play the Thoughtseizes. So I almost wonder if like I just want to play a black reanimation spell. Like there's one that gives lifelink. Do I just want to play the one that just gives lifelink? Where is it? Five or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh. When you discard Edgar's Awakening, you may pay black. Warrior. What does this make? Just a dwarf token? A dwarf creature token. What does this make? A goblin shaman. What do these make? Humans. So this doesn't get any kind of reduction. This actually could work because I can foretell it. I'm gonna try Return Upon the Tide because I can foretell it and maybe get it easier. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't have the border to it. Blah, 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 blah. Return to creature card. Wow. 3 mana, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a flying counter on it. 3 mana? I'm not in green, so I don't have any desire to be in green. I wonder if this could be any good. Can I have Concoct? It's probably not very good. I think this is probably just the most reasonable one. Because it lets me... I can foretell it early and then play it for 4 whenever I need to. So it's the price point of Blood for Bones without the need to sacrifice a creature that I continually do not have. Like I played an hour and a half of this already, and I have not Blood for Bones almost at all. Oh, this is so close. This is so close to being so good. I think I'm gonna keep it. I think it's worth it. Oh crap. That was the wrong land. I think I'm gonna get punished for that. I think I am 100% going to get punished for playing the wrong land. Blue mana, huh? Well, Return Upon the Tide. Foretold. I foretell it. It is a foretell. It is a... Never mind. Oh, Siphon Insight. I don't... Alright, no. So, probably just sitting on a counter spell. I don't have blue mana, so I'm just gonna tap this Fable and Mirror Breaker. Do you have a counter spell? Yes, you do. It's probably Censor. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of hurting that I don't have blue mana. Yeah, I'm definitely hurting that I don't have blue mana. All right. I mean, okay. Siphon Insight again. I mean, I can use Touch the Spirit Realm as removal if I really need to. I'm just wondering what he's taking. Because, like, all of my cards are pretty specific. Although some of them are just kind of, like, general. Like, Fable is, like, an okay target to take. Oh, he's got double blue.
I wonder if you'll the shadows awaken.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna take it. I don't have anything else going on because I'm mana screwed. He'll uptick, taking another one, and I'm just gonna touch the Spirit Realm this one. Actually, what I might do is I might just channel it instead. I'm just gonna channel it instead. Because that way they can't counter it, at least. Go. I don't have anything else. So the thing is that if I get to max hand size, I can just discard Agent and try to reanimate it with Return. However, oh, what?
Creeping, thieving frog.
Okay, yeah. So I just am discarding Agent of Treachery. Yeah, I really needed that Fable and the Mirror Breaker, honestly. I really don't like that card. I hope he's... Oh, this is mine. Oh, that's what's going on. This is mine. Because at first I was like, whoa, that's quite the splash. But I'm the one that owns this card. I forgot about that. Yep, exile 2. Oh, there's my blue mana. Gone. Alright, well, I mean, what do you got? Pass up to 3 spells from my face-up cards.
Terror lurks among us.
I'm just gonna go to the stage. I'm not drawing lands. I don't have blue mana. I can't even play anything in my hand. So Spell Pierce. Leyline is good. I don't think that this is good. This is probably good. What is bad? 2 return. A Narset. These. Lightning Axe. Okay. Hoping for a great opener with like 3 Triomes of like all the different colors and then a Leyline and some other stuff. That'd be pretty good. Leyline, a functional Leyline hand is what I would like the most. I will play first. I'm gonna keep this because it has Thoughtseize and Spell Pierce. I'm gonna Thoughtseize it. Yeah, let's take the counter spell. Ooh, crap. Shoot. Oh, he takes Spell Pierce? Oh, that's kind of odd. I am gonna try to Indomitable Creativity on 4. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's one unknown card in my opponent's hand. Wins a torrential gearbolt. Okay. I don't think that it's the best idea. I really want to, but I don't think it's the best idea. Ooh, there's Obnixilis instead. Okay, I'm gonna try to Obnixilis. I am gonna catch him. So he can counter one of them, but he can't counter both of them. He might be able to kill one. Is he going to... Okay, considers maybe to try to find a counter spell. No! Oh, this is so good then. So, down take this for a devil. Up take this.
You work for me now, runt. By coin
Legendary
or
token.
carnage.
So there's one on top of the
Tribute
token.
is owed.
Yeah, because the border's different. Token Planeswalker. Oh, it literally says token instead of... Oh, okay. So now I've got, like, a pretty decent clock. And this is why I wanted, like, Obnixilis. Ooh, that's excellent. Okay. So... do the thing.
Your punishment
thing.
is my entertainment. Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
So... I'm gonna try to create it. Actually, hold on. I get more damage if I just do this. Oh, he's gonna kill it. Okay. Alright. Destroy X target artifacts and or creatures. I do not have either of those things. So, yep, here's what I'm gonna do. So he'll make a token.
The shadows awaken.
I am going to down tick.
Go sow some chaos.
On this, getting Agent of Treachery, taking Ashia. Ha! Yes! Yes! I even punted a little bit. Okay. Okay. So I didn't see any graveyard hate, so I might want this Return Upon the Tide. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay. I'm not going to. Actually, you know what? Maybe instead of Narset, Consider might be better. Because Consider is lower to the ground, and it could potentially bin a... Excuse me. It could potentially bin an Agent of Treachery. Alright. Hoping for literally the exact same thing to happen again. I do like Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think I might want Considers instead of Narset. Oh, he's gonna Thoughtseize, isn't he? There it is. Alright, what do you want? Probably Narset. Which makes me sad because I wanted to Thoughtseize him. Okay, there's an Obnixilis, which is good. So next turn, I can untap this in to Narset. Probably get something out of my opponent's hand. And there's the counterspell. Interesting.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
Okay. Ah, there it is.
I have just the trick for this.
I'll take... you know what? I'm going to take Smoke. He knows I have Dwarven Mine. So if I play Dwarven Mine and try to... Yeah, I think that's right. So Dwarven Mine... So then... Black, red, 1. Obnixilis. Cast it with Casualty. With Spell Pierce backup. Absolutely excellent. Yes.
After 1,000 years, finally, a new conquest.
I'm really just gonna like uptake both of these, I think. Oh no. I'm gonna Spell Pierce up. Maybe I shouldn't have.
By coin or carnage, tribute is owed.
Also, the correct answer was probably to do not that. So, take this up. I mean, this is just a Great Claw. I actually really like this card.
Your punishment
I don't know why people don't.
is my entertainment.
Probably counter. Okay. So he'll kill the Obnixilis here, I'm sure. But on my next turn, I can Sunset Revelry do it again. Which
If you
is
wish to
fine
surrender,
by me.
I put thoughtfulness before action.
Oh, and there's an Indomitable Creativity. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the Creativity. Alright, your go. Yep. Takes out Obnixilis.
Don't think you're some big hero.
Leyline of Sanctity.
Keep an open mind.
Alright. I'm going to Sunset Revelry. If they counter this, I think I'm just going to... I don't really know what I'm doing. He does counter it. Okay. Do I just want to play Ob? I think I just want to Ob and down him. I wish so much. If he counters this, that just means that... I'm gonna Ob
I'm
and down
the new boss around here.
because I can
Join.
creativity on the next turn.
Oh, I have a job for you.
I would really like a third. I really want a third one of these in my sideboard, but I didn't have enough mythic wild cards. So he'll probably, yeah, one here, one here. Yep, which is what I figured. That's fine.
This was
Well, now, you've
Doesn't matter to me.
ruined all my fun.
So, Indomitable Creativity, X is 1, shoot this. Might counter. Alright, there's a torrent. 5, 8, 11? Shoot one of these monsters, though. Which I don't think is bad. It's pretty bad that that I'm staring down a torrential. Ooh, that's good. I mean, that's kind of good. So I'm gonna Narset. I'm hoping they counter this. Okay. Puts it in the yard. Okay, does it again. So he still has counter. Siphon Insight. I'm going to deal 2 damage, destroy an artifact. Deal 2 damage, destroy an artifact. Haha! Nice! All right, all right, all right. This would have been good to play before this second insight came down, but that's
Past,
all right.
present, and dethrone your prowess.
Take a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn, I'm just gonna Thoughtseize Leyline. Yep. I'm gonna do exactly what I said I was gonna do. Thoughtseize Leyline. All right. Leyline of Sanctity. So now he has to fire off this other one, because then it's just done. Yep. So he takes 2 more of my cards. Or he takes 1 more of my cards. He gets to look at 2 of my cards and take 1 of them.
Meditate and prepare.
Ob Nixilis, I think, is what I want to take. Okay. So, what do we got? Okay. Agent of Treachery. If you got it, you got it. And he's got it. Yep. Man. All right. Tax for 5. What do I draw? Because if they counter Obnixilis, that's fine. If they don't... So if they counter Obnixilis, I can Prismari Command to kill the Gearhulk. If they... Okay. Which is fine. That's okay. So I am going to... make a treasure, destroy an artifact. Make a treasure, destroy an artifact. If that's a Spell Pierce, I'm gonna... cry. It's not Spell Pierce. He would have fired it off by now if it was Spell Pierce. Okay.
You are a mighty warrior. I concede.
Yes. So, go. And actually, there is one in my graveyard, so this Return Upon the Tide is a card that exists. So 1, 2, 3, 4, do this. And I'm really just going to take lands here. Of course. Why? And he leaves it on top, which means that it's probably a threat or another counterspell. Oh, scry's 2. Okay. Scry 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Why do I have a feeling this is just Torrential Gearhulk? I mean, Return Upon the Tide. What do you got? If it's Gearhulk, we're done. Not Gearhulk. I'm leaving both of these in hand because if I draw Fable or like Prismari Command, I can just get rid of both of them. Yeah, I would have really liked to take that. So I'm drawing live to both of my Obnixilis. Oh, sure, he can top deck cool stuff, but I can't. Oh no, that's a cool stuff. Ha! Nice! I'm gonna take that. And then I can use this to bounce this, and then I don't have to deal with it. Excellent! And it makes tokens, which is good. What do you got? Ooh, okay. That's a good sign. I like that. I like that a lot. What does it come in with? 5. That's so much.
The shadows
Smack you. Okay. Does he deal with Ashiok? Oh, he bounces Ashiok. No fun. No fun, no fun, no fun. Exile your cards. Ah! I exiled 2 counter spells. Excellent. Drawing all 4 of my ley lines has not been good. Yup.
Listen to my
Can I draw another way to get rid
creeping,
of?
thieving progeny.
Whatever it attacks or blocks. That was probably the wrong choice. I probably need to be pressuring my opponent's life total. Okay, Thoughtseize is fine. Actually, yeah, because he can just attack me and I'm down to 3. Probably not good.
Are delightfully friendly.
Oh, he doesn't attack. Oh, Fable in the Mirror. Yeah, maybe I should have seen that coming. This is an absolutely miserable Planeswalker. I hate this.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
I'm gonna Thoughtseize first. So I'm gonna take Ashiok. Boom boom. Take Ashiok. Take one of the tokens, actually. And I'm actually just gonna use this and like bounce one of these. I have a Sunset Revelry still left in my deck. I have a Sunset Revelry left in my deck. So I'm gonna draw quite a bit of cards.
You will feel inspired.
Okay. I do like that. I don't want to draw a bunch of cards, actually. I would prefer not drawing a bunch of cards. I can actually even do this again, and then he's taking 2, 4, 6, 8. Actually, yeah, he doesn't have any cards in his hand. So I can use this to bounce this. 2, 4, 6, 8. Game's over. The game is over. I have won. I'm so happy about it. Yes! I won against the miserable matchup. Dude, I hate Ashiok, man. What a miserable card to play against. I hate it so much. Okay, so I really like this deck, actually. I think that this might have legs in this format. So I for sure think that Narset should just be like considers. Just play for consider. And then I definitely want another Ob Nixilis in the sideboard. Leyline was really good. I never really used Rip Apart. Sunset Revelry is absolutely excellent. That is such a good card. And I feel like I need more of it. So I kind of want to take out these Touch of the Spirit Realms. So I could like take out Touch of the Spirit Realm, put in 2 more Sunset Revelry, and then 2 more Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and then just, I mean, that's pretty much it. But this worked really well, and I want to give credit again to Zan Syed, I think. If I'm butchering the name, I apologize. But I want to give him the credit for like the original deck idea, because he built it for Modern, and then I just thought that maybe the same sort of concept might work better in Explorer or Pioneer, because there's like more mid-range stuff going on. There's a lot less like really good pieces of removal. So anyway, that is it for this week. Reminders, if you would like to rewatch this stream or catch up on any of my past streams, you can find them all on my YouTube at Aaron of Exodus. And thanks to everyone for hanging out, and I will see you all next time.